Hello and welcome. This week's a bit of a funny one because I've got a lots going on. I'm not quite sure what to film. I'm prepping for the Surly 100, my event, the Surly 100. I keep on about all the time. I can't ride much this week. I might go out Wednesday night, but that's probably going to be about it. Today is Friday night. I was supposed to go out today, but too much to do. So no big rides. All the routes are checked. Everything's done. So that's all ready. I've just got to get the transit sorted out. I'm having a nightmare trying to get it taxed because of change of ownership. I've changed it onto my new business, and it's proven to be a bit of a headache to try and get it switched over. Anyway, we're getting there. And then end of this next week, obviously I've got to get everything up to the field and ready. Entry shut tomorrow, Saturday night, midnight Saturday night. I've gone on and on and on and on. I keep saying how my stuff doesn't wear out, and it, obviously at some point it's going to have to. And I've just noticed, I've been getting a squeak on my bike, and I couldn't fathom out where it was coming from. But my poor old rear derailleur, which is, I don't know how old it is. It's knackered. It's flapping around like a piece of string. Look, it's XTR. I'll have to look back because I can see when I bought it, but it's got to be 6 years ago, 5 years ago. I dare say, it's because I'm going to have to check stuff, but there's a few things that are wearing out. Chain seems all right, so I guess the sprocket and the cassette might be, but it looks like I'm going to have to get a new rear derailleur. XTR, probably not going to get XTR again. I might get XT. It's just as good. But it's just weird because I've gone on so long. I don't really think about things wearing out anymore for some reason. I think because chains have gone on so long. But there does come a point, everything's going to wear no matter what. So I guess these, the cassette may be worn. I'd perhaps smack a new chain on and just see if it's worn. But I've put the tool on this chain and it seems fine. So in theory, it should be all right. But yeah, the jockey wheels are still fine. Never changed. Actually, yes, I have. I've changed them once. I did change them once. But it's done a lot of miles. Good old XTR. It's a bit over the top. I wouldn't go above XT in the future for this bike. But I'm not sure what the future of this bike is, because obviously when I have the pinion, it's going to sort of put this out of joint, put its nose out of joint. That'll be the bike that I use a lot. There's nothing to wear out on that. It will have a chain on it, but I think that'll last a long old time. Now, something I was going to show you this. I've just thought of something I can show you. Now, I may have done this before, but I don't know. A lot of people struggle to get a tyre off. So when you've got a tyre on the bead, you want to take it off. It works on most wheels, road bikes. I've done it on a road bike recently. The easiest way to get a tyre off without tyre levers is to obviously let it down, take the core, the valve core out, so you let all the air out. If it's tubeless, obviously you've got to be careful because you'll have sealant in there, but if it's a tube, you can push the valve, well, I'll show you in a minute. But so the first thing you've got to do is you've got to get it off the bead of the rim. So you either use your thumbs to push it off the bead, it'll pop, and you can work your way around and push it off the bead. If it's really, really tight, put the wheel on the floor and stand on the edge of the tyre just to pop it off the bead. And once it starts to come off, it'll come off quite easily. And then the next thing you do, and this is the important bit, and I don't know if I'm going to capture it. I've got two wheels to do, so if I can't get it on this one, I'll get it on the next one. So what you do is you make sure it's all the way off the bead, right? And then you start at the bottom. You can't see it, can you? So you start at the bottom like this, and you push all the way up. Keep going, pushing it, until you'll get slack at the top. See? So what you've done is you've pushed the tyre into the middle of the rim, where the rim is deepest. If you leave it, if you try to get the, if you try to get the tyre off, if you just go, I pop the bead off here, right, bang. Right, I'm going to get a tyre lever, I'm going to lever it off now. No, it doesn't work because the tyre is still stretched around the bead of the rim. Get it off the bead, then it becomes loose. So if you hold it at the top like this with one hand and just squeeze it, and you're constantly pulling up on the top, and it will just come off. No tyre levers, off it comes. There you go. That's how you get our tyre off. Okay? Now, I've done that recently with, I watched somebody in the Dorset Dirt Guy. It's actually in my video, but I didn't film all of it because I didn't want to embarrass him. But somebody was there and they were trying to get this tyre on and off, and they were pinching tubes, and they were just, all they weren't doing, because when I picked it up and I went, da 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 da, took it off, and they went, oh, how did you do that? And it's a simple thing. It's not rocket science. It's just you get the tyre off the bead into the well of the rim. Once this tyre's off, I'll show you what I mean by the well of the rim, because I haven't got a tyre off the bead. I'll get it off and I'll show you in a second. First of all, I need to get this sealant out. I use stands so I can reuse it. So you just get the sealant around the bottom and pour it into a receptacle. There you go. Save yourself a load of money, because that will go, hang on a minute, that will go in another tyre. There's no point in throwing it away. Nothing wrong with it. Once you've got the tyre off, you leave it to one side and it will form a little puddle. So what you do now is you go the other side. You get the tyre all the way off the bead, go around the other side, do exactly the same thing. Because at the moment it's still tight on the bead. Pop it off, all the way around. Like so. Same thing. It's off. So what I was showing you about the well of the rim. You see the rim, this, you've got a flat section and a flat section. These are modern rims now. The older ones probably don't have this, but you've got the centre, it's dipped, and you've got the two there. This is the bead of the rim. That's where you want the tyre to sit, so it's nice and tight. So when you do tubeless, you blow it out and it pops onto this bead, and then that's it. You can run it flat and it won't come off. As soon as you push it into the middle, it becomes slack and you've got more room to move the tyre up and down and you can get it off. Get me? Sorry, I hope I'm not teaching you how to suck eggs, but some people have asked me, and I've watched other people struggle, and I think, oh my God, you know, it's such a simple thing to do once you know. But you got to know. And I just tend to wipe it over and just to make sure everything's okay. Put that to one side. That's having another tyre on it in a minute. So I'll do exactly the same with this one. So take the valve core out. Make sure all the air's out. It's a little bit different if you've got a tube in there, because once you've got, I'll show you in a sec, same principle. With your thumbs, push it off the bead. Here it go. You just work your way around. Now if I was to try and get it off now, oh my God, tyre levers, you won't come off. Push it into the middle. You can hear it popping off the bead all the way around. Grab it at the top, off it comes. Simple as that. Done. Now, if you had a tube in here, all you do now is you get to this stage, push the valve up, pull the tube out. Simple. Well, I've got quite a bit of fluid in here, so we'll get this out as well. There we go. To one side. I'll just pop that off there. Couldn't be easier. And you can show all your mates how you can get your tyres on and off without a tyre lever. Another good tip when you're putting the wheel on, put the wheel inside the tyre completely. So it's in the middle of the tyre, and then put the tyre on from the outside in, each side. Work your way around. Just a little bit easier. He says, as it keeps coming off. Work your way around, and you can just peel it on, like so. Oh, big thorn in there. You've got to watch with, yeah, there's a big old thorn there. Probably don't need to worry about it and leave it there. Because it's tubeless, doesn't matter. Leave it in. Just got to be careful when you run the hands around the tyre that you don't catch your, spike your finger on a thorn. And there you go, it's on. So I'm going to put the valve cores back in these, because I think they'll probably pump up. No, that's going up. Yeah, I could have put the sealant in. It's going up straight away. Halo rims are extremely good. Apart from my fat bike rims, all I use is Halo now. They've been making wheels for years, they know what they're doing. That's it. Once you know it's all the way on, all the way around, you can let it back down again. I'll do that in a sec. Yeah, it's so much easier than the old. I've got an air shot here which I use as well. That's leaking a bit. Let's just see if this goes up. That's it, got it. Yeah, these fat pumps are quite good. It's a toe peak one. It goes up to 30 psi, that's it. But it pushes a lot more volume in one pump. So it's quite good for tubeless. That's it. Toe peak, 30 psi fat bike pump. So a much bigger, Joe Blow Fat it's called. So it's got a bigger, pushes more air in one go. So that's it now. I'm going to pop in. It's getting a bit late, so I'll finish those off tomorrow. Put the sealant in the morning. Actually, not tomorrow. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow afternoon. Get these tyres back upstairs out of the way. Get it all tidy. But yeah, good job done. Right. Hope you learned a bit. Catch you later. Draw. Right, here we go. It's Saturday morning. Sorry, Saturday afternoon actually. It's just gone Saturday midday, I think. Yes, it's 1 o'clock. So as you can see, it's I've decided it's about time I got this bike out. I'm going to get this out because I just need a bike to ride in the woods, just to go play. So I'm just going to put this back together, put the wheels back in it, then I've got something to go and play on in the woods. Because I can't keep taking the Raven out. It just seems a bit crazy to have all the bags and all the kit on it, when all I want to do is just go and have an hour or two in the woods wrapping around. And I've got forks on here, so I can give it a bit more beans. Yeah, round chainring. Oof. The round chainring on this bike. Don't like round chainrings, but I've got a lot of choice. I don't think I've got an oval that'll go on here. I'll have to have a look. Race face oval. Might have. Yeah, when you've had oval, it's very hard to go back. The Surly's got a round, and I always struggled with it. Really, really struggle. But this will probably be the same. But like I say, all I'm going to do is it's not worth going too mad on this, because it's not going to be built up for very long. Great bike, love it. I love it. You can only, how many bikes do you bloody well need? You know, it's just ridiculous. Right, I need to get the wheels down, get the wheels back in it, and then perhaps go out for a ride. So I should have filmed a bit more of this, but there you go. I'll try and catch up. Right, what I've done is I've put the wheels back in. I've just checked the front brake because the pistons had just gone together just slightly. So what I have is a various few things. This is something that's an old knife, kitchen knife, which is really, really good, just for slightly getting the pads slightly apart. And what I tend to do is I'll lever them slightly, and I'll push the brake lever in and out at the same time, so it works the pad in and out, in and out, and out, and it tends to clean the pistons, because a piston will, as your pads wear, as you can imagine, the piston creeps out, and never goes back further than it needs to. So it'll end up with where it's going to. It'll end up with like a furry ring, and then the piston will not go back. So when you put new pads in, you can't get the pistons in. You can't get the pads in. So what I tend to do is, with old pads, before I replace them, is I'll work the pads and the pistons in and out, in and out. Whilst I do that, I'm squeezing the lever at the same time, just in and out, just very, very gently. Don't force it, just gently, just to get them moving again. And if that doesn't work, then you can service the pistons, and I will do a video on that, because I probably need to do it on these brakes. These brakes are these are Tech 2s, and they've never ever been looked at, had the oil service, had a service, I mean. So I'm probably going, once this bike's, decide what I'm going to do, these brakes will come off and I'll give them a service. And I'll show you how to lube the pistons. They have a Hope sell some little silicone, some fluid that you put on the pistons. I think it's called Hunters. And it just lubricates the pistons. You can check your seals and all the rest of it. 9 times out of 10, all it really needs is the pistons cleaning and a change of fluid, which I've never done, so I will do. In fact, I don't ever change fluid. I've got old brakes that have been on bikes for yonks, and I never ever change the fluid. I don't know why. I suppose I should, but if it don't break, don't fix it. So tends to be how I work. So anyway, so I've got the wheels in. I'm just going to. I've got to change the brake mount on here because I swapped my rear discs to another bike. Actually, I put these used to be 180 on here. So this brake's set up with a 180 with a plus 20. Sorry, you can't see, with a plus 20 brake mount to push the caliper up for a bigger rotor. But I've put a 160 on now, so I'm going to take that brake mount out and put it back to lower it down so it fits the rotor properly. So I'll do that in a sec. And then the only other thing I've got to do is just check the gears that work, check the forks over. I don't think there's much to do when I've got to put some pedals on it. Because my pedals on my bike packer, on my Raven, are worn out. These XTR pedals have had it. I'm really surprised. There's a lot of play in them. You can service them, and I may well look, if you can hear that, there's a lot of play. They squeaked. They were squeaking like mad, so I re-greased everything, but I think they may need a service kit. But they're wearing, see the plate on the top's wearing, you can see where my feet have been rubbing away on the metal. And they really are worn. So there may be a case of new pedals. I don't know which ones to get yet, probably XT. So I just need to swap this caliper over now and put it back to 160. So it's literally just a case of taking this mount off. Take that off. That's what pushes it up, so I need some shorter bolts. I just need a couple of short bolts and this bolt straight on. Most frames will take 160 without an adapter. This is post mount. Most frames are post mount or flat mount these days. Mountain bikes tend to be post mount. Gravel bikes and road bikes tend to be flat mount. I won't go into all that now, but then all I do is pull on the brake to centralise the caliper when you tighten it up. It should spin. These brakes need using. A friend of mine, well no, a customer, Smokestone, he is a friend really now. Most customers tend to end up as friends, or I get to know them. Right, so the person who bought my last bow tie frame, fat bike, Kim, has entered the fat biking. Little monkey. So what does that mean? It means I might have to enter. I've entered before and not done it. So I'm going to weigh up, I'm going to have a chat with Nina, who's the organiser, and I'm going to see if I can preliminarily book a spot and try and make my mind up. I don't really know what's going on with my health still ongoing. I just have bouts of extreme tiredness, which I probably mentioned in the video, but I like to have a sleep earlier. But if my health's fine, I'm going to go and do it, and I'm going to use, I've got specific kit I'm going to use, and one of the things I'm going to use is this rim. Now I just want to show you, for all these people that think, oh, fat bikes, why would you want to ride that? It's so heavy, it's so this, it's so that. Well, I'm going to show you just how crazy light fat bike rims are. I mean, the ones that, my own SM85 rims are pretty light. They're 400 and something, I forget now. I built it now, so I can't weigh it. But this is a head, big deal rim. Let's just see what it weighs. 451 grams. And this is a 90mm rim. That's 451 grams. This is like a piece of paper, this rim. It's nuts. Must admit, my rims aren't that much heavier. These. That was quite surprising actually. I was expecting that to be a bit lighter. So these are the ones that I make. There's not much difference. So it makes me wonder whether I need to bother building these up. Because these were going to be a specific set for snow. But I don't know. I might not bother, I might just use these. Interesting. Quite glad I weighed those then. Because I kept those specifically to build up a lightweight bike. I might just keep them anyway, and there's no point in building them if I don't have to. Okay. Right, so I'm going to finish this off, get this back on the ground. I need to get some pedals on it, and then probably give it a little bit of a spin just to remind myself. Today is Wednesday. This video goes out later today, so I just wanted to do a bit of an update. Since the bit before this video, a few things have happened. I've been having pains a pain in my temple, and I've just sort of ignored it because I don't really notice it if I touch it. It came back when I got off I've recently come off my steroids, and I went on for a while and I was thinking, oh, this is all fine. And then things started to go wrong, and then I went back on the steroids again. Only a low dose, thinking that was it. And then this pain in my temple is just thing. So I thought, one day I just thought, you do the usual thing, go on the NHS website, you tap in pain in your temple, and it goes, red alert, see a GP straight away, So I rang the doctors, I said what it was, and he had me straight in, told me go straight to the hospital, took a letter with me, and because if you don't check it, this can turn you blind, basically. There's veins to your eyes, just here in your temples, and one of the problems with polymyalgia, which is what I've had for quite some time, is it inflames things like veins and stuff. You get inflammation. And I have had inflammation here, and I've just been ignoring it because it's, when I'm like this, nothing hurts at all until I touch it. And my God, it's like sticking a knife in your head. So, and I only really noticed it at night when I put my head on the pillow that way. And I just thought I've got to do something about it. So anyway, I contacted the doctor, cut a long story short, into hospital yesterday, waiting to have these tests. Did blood test, did all the rest of it, everything's fine. Then it's right, you need to go and see the eye surgeon. You also need to eye specialist, and you also need to have your head scanned. So went in, had my head scanned on the veins. But the first thing they do when you have this, the first thing they told me was you have to take a very large dose of prednisolone, which is the steroid I've been taking. So instead of taking, the maximum I've ever taken is 20 when I was ill, and I've been on like 5 for quite a while. 60. I had to take 60 milligrams immediately, which will calm down the inflammation, and it's specific to your temples. You have to take a big dose. So I took that, and I was on that for 2 days, and then of course I went in for the scan, and she was scanning around. She said, are you on prednisolone? I said, yes. She said, that's probably why it's not showing up, because the inflammation's gone down. So she said, right, you're fine. Your veins, I showed me on the scanner, and it's quite fascinating to see these things pumping in your forehead. So that was good. So the steroids worked. Still had a slight pain in my head. Anyway, so next day I was told I had to go and have that was later on. I had to go to the eye specialist. Went in there. Everything's perfect. Eyes are good. So the steroids worked. But I've now got rheumatology. So I'm actually, for the first time since getting ill in 2021, going to be seen by rheumatology, which deals with polymyalgia. It's only taken 4.5 years to get to see these people. So hopefully now I've reduced my steroids down to 40 milligrams today, because that's what they told me to do if the pain goes. Because today, nothing. It's gone. Thank goodness. So sorry to go on about this, but I did put a post on Facebook, which I wish I hadn't really, because you don't need to know this stuff. But, anyway, I appreciate everyone's kind messages. I really do. We all, yeah. Anyway, so I've got an appointment with rheumatology next week, and hopefully this will be a recipe for getting sorted out. I feel really like a fraud, because I look at me, I act fine, I ride my bike and blah, 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 and everything seems normal. But yeah, all these, because I'm on blooming steroids, that's why. Come off them and I snuff it. To cut a long story short, if you don't take them, you're in a bad state. So anyway, my event's coming up this weekend. So today, thankfully, I've got no hospital appointments because that's all I've been doing for the last 2 days is sitting in hospitals in the heat. And today's just prepping for the Surrey 100. That's what I'm going to be doing. So I just wanted to put this note on the end of this video because obviously I put the post on Facebook and I just wanted to, that's it. I try not to go on about myself. I'm turning into a hypochondriac, but some people, obviously it affects things and all the rest of it. And if anybody else has got polymyalgia, because there are a lot of people out there with this sort of thing, fibromyalgia and polymyalgia are very similar. Polymyalgia is supposed to be temporary. There's a lady down the road from me who's got fibromyalgia, and she's on sticks for life. She battles on. She's determined not to sit in a chair and rot away. She wants to keep moving, but she's in constant pain. And a lot of people like it. I've heard of other people with, it's called giant cell arteritis. Giant cell arteritis. It's quite common. I was quite surprised, and dangerous to your eyesight. Anyway, all is good in the hood. That's it for this video. It's very short, very sorry. I've got lots, obviously I'm dying to do this pinion build. That'll be coming after, I've got Surrey 100 this weekend, which I'm hoping people are going to help me film it. So that'll be quite good as well. I can do a little video on that. But apart from that, next week, new stuff. I need to do more technical, get away from just standing here waffling about nothing. Okay, that's it. Goodbye, guys. Have a lovely week. Enjoy yourselves. Hopefully the weather's gone a little bit cooler now so we can all calm down a bit. And thanks again to everybody for the messages. All right, cheers. Speak to you soon. Bye.